The Haunting of Hollow Creek, Chapter 4, The Haunting Begins. As the moon rose over Hollow Creek, Becker and Luna returned to the Wixxwood Mansion, their arms laden with the items required for the counter ritual. The mansion loomed ominously in the darkness, its windows like empty eyes watching their every move. Inside, the air was thick with anticipation. The silence was broken only by the creak of the floorboards under their feet and the distant rustle of leaves outside. Becker felt a chill run down his spine as they made their way to the basement, where the symbols and altar awaited. Luna spread out the items on the floor: candles, salt, a silver dagger, and a piece of parchment inscribed with the counter ritual. "We need to place the candles at each corner of the room and draw a protective circle with the salt," she instructed. Becker nodded and began placing the candles while Luna carefully poured the salt in a wide circle around the altar. The flickering candlelight cast eerie shadows on the walls, making the symbols seem to dance and writhe. With the preparations complete, Luna took a deep breath and began to read the incantation from the parchment. Her voice echoed in the cold, damp basement, each word dripping with ancient power. As she spoke, the symbols on the walls began to glow, their light growing brighter with each passing moment. Becker felt a pressure building in the room, as if the very air were vibrating with energy. The whispers grew louder, more frantic, filling his mind with a cacophony of voices. He struggled to focus, keeping his eyes on Luna as she continued the ritual. Suddenly, the temperature plummeted, and a cold wind whipped through the basement, extinguishing the candles. The room was plunged into darkness, and the whispers turned into wails of anguish. Becker's flashlight flickered, casting brief glimpses of the writhing symbols in the now animate shadows. "Luna, keep going," Becker shouted, his voice barely audible over the din. Luna's voice wavered but remained steady as she pressed on with the incantation. The symbols pulsed with a malevolent energy, and the shadows seemed to close in around them. Becker gripped the silver dagger tightly, ready to defend them if need be. With the final resonant word, Luna completed the incantation. For a moment, everything went still. The whispers ceased, and the oppressive darkness seemed to lift. Becker felt a glimmer of hope, thinking they had succeeded. But then, a low growl rumbled through the basement, and a figure materialized in the center of the circle. It was a tall, gaunt man with hollow eyes and a twisted, malevolent grin. His presence radiated a cold, dark energy that made Becker's blood run cold. "Fools," the spirit hissed, its voice like nails on a chalkboard. "You cannot banish me. I am bound to this place, and I will feed on your fear." Becker stepped forward, the dagger held out defensively. "We're not afraid of you," he said, though his heart was pounding. The spirit laughed, a sound that sent shivers down Becker's spine. "You will be." In a flash, the spirit lunged at them, and Becker swung the dagger. It passed through the spirit, but the contact seemed to weaken it momentarily. Luna, thinking quickly, grabbed the grimoire from the altar and began to read aloud from it, her voice strong and determined. The spirit recoiled, its form flickering and distorting. Becker continued to fend it off with the dagger, each strike making it weaker. As Luna's voice rose in a crescendo, the spirit let out a final ear-piercing shriek and vanished in a burst of light. The basement fell silent once more, and Becker and Luna collapsed to the floor, exhausted but victorious. The symbols on the walls faded, and the oppressive energy lifted, leaving only the faint glow of the candles. "We did it," Becker said. "We actually did it." Luna nodded, tears of relief streaming down her face. "But we're not done yet. We still need to find Aurora." They made their way back upstairs, the mansion feeling less oppressive now that the spirit was gone. In one of the rooms, they found Aurora, unconscious but alive. Becker picked her up gently, relief washing over him. As they left the mansion, the first rays of dawn began to break over the horizon. Hollow Creek was still and silent, but for the first time in years, felt like the town could finally heal.